So I think you would talk to most financial advisors, and they kind of like shun real estate, right? Because quite frankly, they don't get paid on it.
Yeah.
But I personally own real estate myself. I would tell you that I do this all day long, and I would tell you that most people who are doing well as a retired person will typically have rental income as well. So I put it in we always say don't put all our eggs in one basket, right? So I believe that the stock market is a basket, and I also believe that the real estate market is a basket. And so I wouldn't tell anybody to put all their money in the stock market. And I wouldn't tell anybody to put all their money in the real estate market. Even though you and I both know, like if you're a realtor, like all your money's in a realty, right? There's I'm like, hey, you want to put any money in that simple IRA? And they're like, no, I can go buy another rental,
Yeah.
And so I would say that it has to be a complementary piece to the portfolio, and not that everybody has to have rentals. But I would tell you that every time I do a really successful, I'm talking like successful to where not only are they going to retire fine, but their kids are going to be fine too.
Oh, right.
That's almost always including real estate as well.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think real estate is a big part, but I also think financial planning and in the market is amazing too.
Right.
I mean, for me personally, with real estate, because I'm in mortgages, it's just something I know more.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm more weighted in the real estate game than I am in equities or in the stock market.
Sure.
Personally.
Sure.
There's been times where I've been in the stock market, like right now I'm probably 90% real estate, like what you're saying.
Right.
But I think it's because I don't know the stock market.
Right.
And I need to maybe get to know it more.
Right. And I would say again, just diversifying the portfolio, the tool that you have at your disposal is the 401k. You know what I mean? You can put a lot away. You can put a lot of money away as a deferred comp, so you don't get paid tax. Right now, you could be in a tax group. I'm not making any assumptions, but I mean, if you make decent money, you're looking at 50% tax between state and federal. So to defer that to a time when you wouldn't pay those kinds of numbers
makes sense.
It makes sense to you right now, but then also it's also building up that other side of the equation.
Yeah.
So that that's I would tell people who are heavily real estated. I would say, listen, let's open a 401k. Let's open up a simple IRA. SEP would be great.
Yeah.
Something like that. And just, because again, if every dollar you put in yields a 50-cent tax savings, then why wouldn't you just max that out? Why would you want to give that money to the government when you could give it to yourself?
I'm wondering what the current statistics are right now for people turning 60 to 65 and their retirement savings. Do they have enough, or will they have to keep working?
I don't have the statistics by any means memorized or anything like that, but I would just tell you the feel for it. There was a generation that saved everything, and then this generation coming through right now, it's hit or miss for sure. This is a generation that's retiring right now that was told by the government, hey, you're paying Social Security, we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And they believed them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they did. They believed them. So I would tell you that there are a lot of people in their 60s and 70s that don't have enough. I would say far more than need to be. You know what I mean? And we actually have, millennials and Zs even who have more savings right now than the average, person in their 70s.
Wow. So why do you think the millennials and Zs are saving more?
Well, they don't have a lot of costs. So most of those people are actually staying home with their mom and dad still.
Yeah.
They've got a job, but they don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so they're just putting money away, or they're buying real estate and not even living in it. They're just buying rentals and stuff. So I think that they're doing better. They've got a better handle on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, your generation is pretty good savers. I'm on the outside of your generation. I'm right there. I'm an X, but I mean, we're pretty good savers.
Yeah.
But the people above us definitely believe that the government was going to take care of them, and that's unfortunate. So I've seen a lot of people working into their 70s, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it definitely is unfortunate, and I mean I see it too. I get calls, and housing is a big challenge for some of these retired people as well. Here's a question: can the market keep going up? If so, how and why does the market keep going up? I get this question often in real estate for home values. I'm curious why the market over the last couple of 100 years consistently increases over time.
Yeah. Well, the base layer to it is, good question, by the way. The base layer of all of it is inflation, right? So we all have the person in our life that's like, I remember when I could buy a candy for a nickel. You know what I mean? I bought a candy bar the other day. It was $2. So the base layer of the growth of the market is inflation. So the reason we're in the market, though, is because consistently over time, the market has always
Yeah.
beat inflation.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, so when we buy the market, right? So I think that part of it is the misconception of what the market is, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at a like 30,000 foot view when we say market.
Yeah.
And so you just have to break it down and go, okay, listen, I'm going to buy a mutual fund or some stocks, and I'm going to own part of Apple. I'm going to own part of Verizon. I'm going to own part of McDonald's.
Yeah.
And so being an owner in those companies are constantly growing. And so the value of that company grows as it brings in more revenue, cuts its cost, et cetera. That's why when you see a recession, you see the first thing that goes
efficient.
jobs.
Yeah.
Because it's cutting costs so that the revenue can be better.
Yeah.
So the company's growing, and that's what we're investing in, is big companies that are growing. And so that's what the market's doing. It's just an overlay of all these small companies or big companies or middle companies all growing together.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing. Like, typically speaking, if you went to a restaurant like 5 years ago, it was like $60, to go for two people to go have, dinner and maybe a glass of wine. Now it's $120.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
$100 at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that tracks all the way across. Coca-Cola's cost more money.
Yeah.
McDonald's costs more money.
Yeah.
It's just so when they increase those revenues, they're increasing their profits. The size the company's growing. That reflects in their stock price.
Makes complete sense. I'm going to say it in a different way. So, because of inflation, the government has a mandate to do 2% inflation every year. They have to create inflation, is what their mandate is.